This is a game changer for your business. Hey, I am Sarah, founder of The Den, and I help dance, theatre and performing arts schools to grow their business whilst having a life outside of it. Now, game changer. Well, technically there's sort of two game changers, but let's start with the first one. The first one is the 6-pillar planning method, which is a method that I have created and then went on to actually, create the tracker as well. Now, the tracker was originally a planner and has now become the tracker, which is sort of like a planner and a tracker all in one, and it's undated. Now, these are available to buy. And when you buy this, you get my entire 6-pillar planning method. Now, why is this one a game changer? Well, it's not what I said. This is what one of my clients said. And it's because of the way that it is laid out. It's laid out into, funnily enough, 6 pillars. And in those 6 pillars, you break everything down. And it's in that breaking down of whatever it is that you need to do that the game-changing element comes in. Because as business owners, we are firefighting, okay? And particularly with what we do, we find that there is a need to do you've maybe have a show, or you've got exams, or you've got an event, or you've got this fete to go to, or, a concert or something like that. You've got all of these different satellite events happening on top of what is your core business. So your core business will just be the lessons themselves. That's what your core business should be. And that on its own right, standing on its own 2 feet, should pay for all your expenses, like your broadband, your phone, your insurance, your music licenses, your stationery, whatever else is that you have, your rent, your wages, your tax, all of that. Your classes should cover all of that and then have a profit on top, okay? Then your additional extra incomes, like your merchandising, like your one-on-one classes, like your additional workshop classes, like the extra things that I've talked about, the shows, the events, the concerts, all those sorts of things, right? They're all the cream and the marshmallows and the chocolate flakes on the top of your profit. But managing all of these is basically project management, and that is not something that we were ever trained in. Unless you are a trained project manager, then you can probably, using project management software and all this business, absolutely divide down the tasks and this, that, and all the rest of it. Delegate this, do this, that person does that, that contractor does this, and all the rest of it. But when you're a one-man band, how can you do that? How can you do that? And a lot of this project management software, they're expensive. And I find them quite confusing because you've got all the different Gantt and all the rest of it. And I'm just like, there's got to be an easier way. 6-pillar planning method. So it uses the concept of project management, but broken down in a much easier way. So now you get the pillars. And the most important one is the first one, and that is the personal pillar. And that's the one where you put in your own holidays or your own weekends away or your own staycations, whatever they may be. That's the most important one, because it's often that in our industry you've got this competition happening, or you've got this event happening, or I'm going here and I'm going there and I've got this CPD, and all of a sudden you're like, I need to fit in a holiday, and you can't. So we're going to work it the other way around. So that's the first pillar. What about the other 5? Well, the other 5 are there to break down your projects and really question what it is that you are doing and when, because only when you really see it as part of the bigger picture, but then also include the work that is involved in creating that bigger picture, do we actually go, is this realistic? Is this actually doable? Can I do a show week and prep all my next year's classes and do an exam session at the same time? No, it's not doable. Okay. So this is where it breaks down, and that is the key to all of this. And it's not just at like the superficial level. The pillars drive you to go deeper into the depths of all your workload. And then you'll start to go, okay, I've actually got a really big space there. So what if I do an incentive to drive my current students to take additional classes? Okay, let me do that incentive in there. Okay, but in order to do that, I've got all these emails that have to go before it, and I have to create all the pictures and the text and the infographics that go with it. Okay, so then I'm going to need that week there, and then I'm going to need that week as well. I think I'm going to need 2 weeks work on this. But I got exams that week, and I know that week's going to be a bit heavy. That means I've only got a week to prep this. Do I have enough time? No. Can I realistically do this? Yes, if I move it one more week. Move it one more week, you've now got your 2 weeks, and then it runs. Can you see how it works? You shuffle them around until, this is why I'm an advocate of these pens, the friction pens, the rub out ones, because then you can just rub it out and just write, okay, that now sits there. I now have time to create the assets that I need in order to do whatever it is actually booked in that week. Does that make sense? Because I think that's where we get tangled up a lot. We forget about the amount of work that we have to do that is in connection to whatever that task is or that project is. All right. So that's why this is a game changer. Okay, because it really makes you step back and think so that you are not continually firefighting your workload. So Sarah, what was number 2? Again, I didn't say it was a game changer. It was one of my clients, and that is my roadmap. And the roadmap is a 9-step roadmap, and it's CPD accredited, and it sits within Scale Your Studio, which is my membership. All right, and that leads you through all 9 steps to consistently get your business running tickety-boo and for you, and creating experiences for your children, and creating systems, and earning you more money and more time for yourself. And when you get to the end of it, you go back to the beginning and you go round again. And why do we do that? Because even second time round, your goal and your vision for the school will have changed. So now you go, right, but now I've got those systems in place. Let me check them, tweak them. They're working great. Now let me introduce a new system. And then you start adding. And as you add, you take yourself away and you simplify what you're doing, and you have automations running. And then you just build on that, and you get to the end, and then you go back to the beginning, and you go again. And you just keep going. Because every time you do the roadmap, you will make tweaks to your business that will make it easier, simpler, and more effective for you to run your business with the heart and love that I know you want and do. All right. So if you want to find out more information about my tracker and 6-pillar planning method or my membership, then get in touch with me. Take care.